Hello, everyone. I'm Alberto. I'm the co-CEO of Didit. At Didit, we are humanizing the internet. Okay, so we detected a very big problem on the internet, which is happening right now, which is very difficult to differentiate what is real and what is not. And this is going to happen more and more when AI is getting better. So we have trust and authenticity issues. We don't know if we're interacting with a real person or not. We don't know if the content generated by someone is real or not. So actually, there is real problems here. Everyone is focusing on AI too much, but they are not focusing on the consequences of AI. So we believe the solution of this problem is creating a network of verified identities, so you are able to track everything from the root. So the content is generated by a verified identity. It's the person who just logging into my website is a verified identity, and so on. How we are doing that? So we have been building an infrastructure. Everything is live on production. So we have a Didit protocol, which is an infrastructure layer composed by 3 solutions: the identity verification one, the authentication plus data, which is a login plus a data transfer feature, and then we have the digital payments one. We are getting a lot of traction on the identity verification side. So the identity verification, we took a different approach, for instance, from other kind of competitor, let's say Wallcoin. We did an orb and you verify the identity, like verifying that you are the proof of personhood. We are using typical KYC and anti-money laundering identity verification. So it's a government ID verification. We do that for a couple of reasons, actually. One is that we have more data available, as you can see in the video. So it's a normal KYC and anti-money laundering process. And we collect all this data from the user, and when the user does KYC and anti-money laundering, then he has this data stored on his identity. So then he can reuse this data in other websites, for instance, proving his age, proving that he's a human, proving his name, and also other kind of data. And also, we did this kind of government ID verification for proof of personhood, because there is already a clear market fit for this kind of solution on the market, because there is a lot of fintech companies and all these kind of companies that are obligated to integrate this solution. So we are getting a lot of traction here. Why we have a nice product, nice UI UX, nice security, everything, but we are breaking the market. We are only company in the world which is giving it for free. So it's a very big incentive for B2B companies to integrate this solution for identity verification. And we are seeing huge traction on every aspect, like fintechs in Latin America, in Southeast Asia, transport companies, so any kind of companies, like not only crypto companies, like every kind of company that needs to verify the identities. So we have a product for humans, so to manage the identity. It's very similar to Wallcoin, where we have the ID and the app. Okay, this is live. You can download it on the Apple Store. You can do the verification process. You can manage your identity. You can already transfer, stable coins. You can also do some swaps, everything non-custodial, decentralized, so very similar to Wallcoin. And I believe this is one of the most advanced identity wallets right now on the market, so you can test it out. It's still on early beta. We didn't promote it too much. You are testing out with few users, understanding a little bit the behavior. Business model, we're earning for IML check. For the KYC, it's totally free, but for IML checks, we're earning some money there. On the data, we're earning for swap, and on the future, we want to earn money for the authentication solution, for the digital payment, and so on. So the go-to-market is business onboarding. We are very focused on onboarding as much business as possible. We plan to onboard like 1,000 companies vendor of next year, so we're going to be top 3 identity provider in the world by end of 2025. Then we're going to incentivize a lot the user on the B2C side. We're going to do a strategy very similar to Wallcoin, with 2 acquisition loops mainly, where we're going to incentivize users to perform certain action on the Didit app to verify the identity, prove their humanness, then refer to other and do distribution to other people. So creating quite interesting acquisition loops. We are integrating currently the acquisition loop on the Didit app to just make this network effect and trying to get as much identities as possible, similar to Wallcoin, honestly. We have competitors, Wallcoin on the crypto side, then we have Yoti and ADME. On the traditional side, they did a very good job on the onboarding. We are the first and only free identity verification on the wall. So very big incentive for businesses to integrate it. We are seeing huge market fit already here, and we are already working with the government in Spain. We are both the co-CEOs. We are both twin brothers. We are experts as developers, Web3 developers, smart contracts, AI developers before, full stack. Then we have Hector, CFO, Danny, CMO, and then we have Luis as our operation. And I don't have time anymore. We are doing a round, so if you are interested as well.
Thank you. That's the end of the pitch. And now to the judges for Q&A. Thank you.
For sure.
Hi, thanks very much for the pitch. Two-part question. The first one is there anything inherent about what Didit is building that makes it more efficient than alternatives and enables it to be free? Or is it just kind of a business decision to price your services free? And then second, what's the long-term business model that you see? Is free like a way to enter the market and then you're going to start charging per KYC like other companies do? Or do you have some bigger play with like data or some kind of network play?
Very good question, actually. So in terms of pricing, actually, like the conversions of price per verification is going to 0. So we are very efficient. We are a 14 employees company. We are 3 developers plus me and my brother, so we are 5. Very low cost, very lean organization. All the technology we develop ourselves during all these years. So the associated cost with this verification is almost 0, more when you scale the verification. So we can afford to do that. The competitors cannot afford doing it because they have large team. You know, they have also externalized some part of their solution, like the face verification, other kind of solution. So we know, and this is jumping to the second question, we know that we need to penetrate the market very aggressively because it's a red ocean. So there is already big players like Onfido, Verif, all this kind of player. So our way to penetrate the market is to have a 10x better product regarding the pricing, penetrate the market, and building the moat during these couple years, because we believe you only have like a couple years for building the moat, the network of business and service provider and verified identities. So we are getting too much aggressive as possible. And we plan to monetize on the future on the anti-money laundering side specifically. We don't plan to charge for KYC, okay? We have a contract with the service provider we are charging, like we can tell them 12 months in advance, like, hey, we're going to charge you, but we don't plan to do that, okay? That's not the idea. The idea is to charge for authentication solution, for anti-money laundering, and we believe there is a big market already for that.
Do you have, outside of like the app, a pipeline or plans to integrate with some maybe like existing either social media or wherever, so people can actually see like, you know, Didit identities and verified things? Maybe not something as big as like Twitter, but you know, something smaller or local in Spain, or yeah, just curious how you're thinking about the identity being used outside of just your app.
Yeah, totally. So we have already we onboarded like 30 companies as identity verification provider. So you can do the KYC and anti-money laundering with Didit already, outside any other application, fintech application, everything. We have worked with Orange as well. We have collaborated with them, one of the biggest telcos in Europe. We are collaborating with the biggest hotel provider in the world, which is Hotelbeds, 5 billion company. So we are starting doing a lot of use cases with this interoperable identity already with Didit. I believe the first use cases on other websites, on other providers, going to be identity verification because there is already a market for that. I believe now with regulation like eIDAS 2 coming to Europe and all this kind of regulation regarding the identity, we're going to start playing more on the authentication side as well, like I'm being an identity provider, login with Didit, you know, which this solution is already available on some websites as well. But I believe the roadmap, the clear roadmap in terms of efficiency resources on the company is first identity verification, get as much companies as possible, and then grow on other kind of solution on the infrastructure layer that we have, authentication and payments and so on.
And is it, so are the other companies that you mentioned, like ID Now and stuff, externalizing parts of their solution, or are they fully built in-house as well?
The biggest companies, I believe everything is in-house. The biggest one, the unicorns one. The smaller ones, they are externalizing a lot. But the bigger one, if they have everything internalized, they have like 100 engineers. I mean, you don't need 100 engineers to build that product.
Okay, and we have 1 minute. Last, maybe 1 or 2 questions if we have time. So you mentioned that making money off anti-money laundering. How exactly does that work?
Yeah, so at the end of the day, it's just an API, okay? We have access to 200 data sets in real time. So you have data sets like FBI data set, Mexico Treasury, you know, all these kind of data sets, sanction, adverse media, warnings. And then what you are giving is just a score between 0 and 1 for this name with this date of birth and with this country, which risk score it has, and then potential hits. It's just kind of, yeah, maybe this is a money laundering thing, or maybe this is a terrorist, or maybe this is a political sports person.
And who is paying for that? The identity
Exactly. So normally, fintech companies, like whenever you do the onboarding, they are forced to do not only the KYC, but also the anti-money laundering. But there are companies that they only want to implement the KYC. So only fintech companies, exchanges, for instance, they need to do anti-money laundering. Not all the companies, they do it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.